We're live now with the Mars versus Philaffle game. Philaffle playing the red, blue Ray, and Krennic being played by Mars. And like I mentioned earlier, we do have Thork live with us here, so here to make him feel welcome.
What's up, guys? I'm not playing the tournament this time. I've decided not to because I thought this was not going to be with the new set. I thought it was going to be played with the old set, so I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to take some time to play the whole set, and then turns out it was not the case, so now I look like an idiot, and that's okay. But I'll get to enjoy the game with you guys and get to cast them, so it's going to be fun. For having me.
Absolutely, man. It's such a pleasure of mine to have you along for this one. I think it's going to be an exciting match, honestly. With this is the third Ray we've seen, like I mentioned earlier, and then Krennic, he's still a good leader. He's still got a good deck. He's got Vader. He's got a lot of new tools. So yeah, we're just gonna see here how this one plays out.
I think this in theory should be a good matchup for Mars because obviously when you got two mid-range decks facing each other, usually the grindiest one, the most late game one has the advantage. With all that being said, Ray has a couple of tricks in his sleeve. Not only plays 2 copies of Create the Dragon, which is an incredibly powerful late game card, and Mars does not really have any spot removal spell to get rid of it. Like basically, he's gonna have to rely on something like Pale the Dark Side or Avenger to be able to get rid of it. And obviously that's not always possible because there's always other units to sacrifice sometimes. So I feel like this could go either way.
Yeah, honestly, it could. Let's see. Yeah, I'm really interested to see if the Rayless can push damage early on to really allow Crate Dragon to just come out and win the game for him, or if it's going to be much quicker than that. Krennic can also do quite a bit of damage. He's got a lot of three you know 3 cost units that really just hit for a lot of damage. So I think he can actually maybe race the Ray here if he can get control of the board.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. I think it's gonna be honestly. I think it's gonna be very grindy. Like, you have two leaders that have restore and loads of life gain on either side, and we'll see both players are opening their getting their opening hands. This is an easy mulligan here for Mars, and for Philaffle, I think this is a keep. You got 4 throw. Oh yeah, I think this should be a keep for Philaffle. Okay, much better starting hand here for Mars at the bottom.
Oh, absolutely.
No ramp,
yeah.
but at least you got stuff to play. Sorry.
No, yeah, you're completely right here. I think you do keep this as Philaffle. He's got a force throw. He's got a turn 1 play. And he's actually got a Poe as well, which will be fantastic. I think you always want to see, one of your expensive cards like that, Kanan or Poe, just really impactful on the board.
Well, interestingly enough, he decided to resource the A-Wing and go for Val instead. So I'm actually super excited to see what this card has to offer. I've never actually played with this card, so it'll be interesting to see her in action. Because obviously he could have gone A-Wing here, but prefers to go for Val, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, Val is really good in my experience. What I've seen from her, if you have a high 8 HP unit like a Yoda for a turn 2 play, then if Val dies, you can take the 3 damage on Yoda, but now you're swinging for 4 with that thing. So, really strong Val. I didn't see that coming, honestly. The 2 experience is like, well, why would I take 3 damage if I'm only going to get 2 experience? But it makes a ton of sense when you have stuff like Yoda and Kanan who just have a ton of hit points to play with.
That's a very good point. And it does match up particularly well against the Game of Warring guards coming out on the other side.
Absolutely, yeah. Taking 2 hits to kill is nasty, and yeah, I don't know if Mars just puts down the other Gamoran guard here to give both of them Sentinel, or what he really plans for here.
I would go into space here because the fight on the ground is lost. Like those Gamoran guards are going to do horrible against Val, so I would just give. If I was them, I would just give up the ground and go into space. But looks like he decides to go with what you suggested here: double Gamoran guards on the ground. But he's not even gonna get Sentinels because the first one is gonna die. So
Yeah, that's a really interesting choice. I mean, yeah, it definitely wasn't the strongest in the world, but I do understand what he was going for there.
yeah. So here Philaffle is very good position. He has advantage of the balls, making tons of value with the Val. Fourth throw is going to be enabled for next turn. Only expensive card to discard for fourth throw is a very dangerous fourth throw. But keep in mind, Krennic does have the advantage in the late game, theoretically. So if Krennic can weather the storm, he should be able to win the late game. But the point is like, in what position is he going to get into that late game position? That's the question.
Yeah, here we have actually no plays for Mars. I don't see a single forecast card there. And timely intervention would, require something that costs 3. So, very rough position to be in. He's got a good plays next turn though, that's for sure. Just this round is going to be pretty tough to deal with, I think.
Yeah. The good news is that the Ray deck is not the kind of deck that can kill you very quickly, so that's gonna give him a little bit of time. But the problem is not so much about the HP on your base; it's more like the board position. You can pull very strong cards if there's just too much units on the battlefield as it comes out. You're still gonna be struggling. Like those cards, they are strong cards like the Vaders, the Barrage. They're powerful cards. Don't get me wrong, but they don't do miracles. Like they can't just recover a bolt position when there's like 3 or 4 shielded units on the board that have tons of experience on them, which it seems to be where we're heading. Um, with the Val, if he trades into that game and one guards, get himself 2 experience token on that Yoda is could be tough.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mars is here to act, and he's got, really a tough decision to make. I don't know if he just decides to hit the Yoda. That's an interesting one. Okay.
Yeah, he wants to hit the Yoda because then if Val dies, I think the Yoda will die before giving the experience. I think that's the idea. But there's very likely to be another unit that can welcome those experience tokens anyway. So there he goes. Got the sticky people who fight with sticks in Star Wars.
Yeah, and what's important to note for people who may not know, Val is a bounty on her that says deal 2 damage. So the Mars here would be able to choose where the damage goes, and the player who plays the Val would decide where the experience goes. So they can actually go on 2 different units, which is pretty important to note as well. And
Yeah. So if you got multiple units, you're basically safe.
right, exactly. And Village Protectors is not a bad target either for Val. Having that Sentinel ability and a shield means that you can take 2 damage and not lose any HP. But yeah, really rough turn there for Mars. Hopefully he can find a way to bounce back here. Philaffle has a lot of damage on his own units.
Yeah, he should from now on he should be able to get good turns, but is that going to be enough to come back from this game? We'll find out. The problem is the Philaffle also a very good follow-up play. There's no easy answer to that Poe coming out for Philaffle, and obviously still that fourth throw is going to be deadly at some point, and and a variety of answers with a takedown. If the game really goes too late, he does have the Crater Dragon, which we talked about earlier. That once again, Mar does not have an easy answer to that dragon.
Yeah, he really doesn't. And in this position, we've got a couple of plays. He could power here, but I think he's probably going to end up going with a. I want to say just the Super Commando Squad, but
Yeah, so Super Commander is a 5 job, so I think it's the only play. The ambush Stetson's battalion here is not really doing a whole lot because in Star Wars Unlimited, whenever an overwhelmed unit attack a shielded unit, the shields just absorb all the damage, and you don't deal any overwhelm damage to the base. So it looks like he's gonna save himself a little bit of time, get the get the Krennic. Maybe the idea is to knock out the shield first, and then ambush to finish it off, deal a bunch of overwhelm damage. But honestly, dealing a bit of damage to the base at this point is not really Mars' priority, and the simple reason for that is because there's just so much restore going on Philaffle's deck. So dealing a bit of damage in the base doesn't really have any consequence.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think a force throw here for Falafel could be particularly nasty, since it would go on Krennic. And pretty much every single card in Mars's hand right now is 5 cost or more. So it could be quite a bit of damage.
No, he has power of the dark side, but
It does have power, but yeah, getting rid of a
yeah.
power too is nice to see if you're Falafel. That's not
I
a
mean,
bad
from the
drop.
from the perspective from the perspective of Philaffle, whenever generally speaking, okay, so he's gonna go barrage.
Yeah, that's a really good
Okay,
barrage.
I think that's probably the best play, yeah. But what I was saying is like from the perspective of Philaffle, whenever you see opponent has loads of cards in hand, usually you know there's a high chance your fourth throw is not gonna do a whole lot.
That village protector should
Uh,
be on the field still.
yeah. You need to intervene here. This should not happen. Wait. Call them to wait first. Them to wait. Maybe we missed something, but
No, I got rid of shield. So
oh yeah, maybe Val maybe he selected Val with
oh
the
yeah.
bounty.
Well, you the active player gets to choose first, so that's odd. Um,
Uh, so yeah, just ask them why did the villager dies.
yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, so what I was saying earlier is generally when you play a fourth throw deck, you try to wait for until your opponent has like 2 or 3 cards or less in hand. You don't like to play fourth throw into someone who has like 5 cards in hand. So even though from our perspective it looks like fourth throw is amazing, from the perspective of Philaffle, you might be wanting to hold on to it for a better moment, especially when you have a 5 drop that is as amazing as Poe to play on curve. Because if you play fourth throw here, you can't play a Poe. So obviously it makes sense to hold on it a little bit.
Okay, so yeah, my bad. I read incorrectly there on Val. So the active player, meaning the player whose turn it is, gets to choose the order of the ability. So yeah, that's my bad. I thought I thought he should still be alive, but that makes a ton of sense. Uh,
Okay, cool.
to do it that way.
At least it's nice because we get to clarify the situation for everybody, so it's all good.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of new cards, a lot of new interaction. Val is probably one of the most convoluted card in the in the expansion, like one of the most weirdest card in the expansion. So it's definitely something that a lot of people are gonna get wrong at the beginning.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do they know they can keep going, right?
Yeah, I told them all good. I don't know if they're waiting on me.
Yeah. Yeah. So now the play it decides to take the initiative, I believe. Yeah. So Mars took initiative. Philaffle decided to pass. We're ready for a new turn. So that was an amazing barrage. And this is the prime with Val, right? You could see like the disadvantage of the card is that it does snowball on the other side. It got a very good early in a game on those Gummermore guards, but then having to lose like an extra unit because of the barrage was definitely a big deal. So yeah, the follow-up play here.
I
This
think we
could
just
be a
see
turn for
steadfast.
yeah. This needs to be like excellent battalion. You will lose the battalion at the end of the turn by doing that. But so it's a 5 drop for a 5 drop, and you have to use the ECL. So it's not really that amazing of a play.
Well,
But
he
if he
can use
plays the power of the
timely.
dark side, then he has nothing else to play anyway. So
He could use timely intervention to use up the 6 resources this turn and keep the ECL. I'm not sure if that's worth
no,
it.
timely intervention costs 2 when it's on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's 2. Yeah,
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 so that wouldn't work.
yeah. So that wouldn't
But
work.
yeah, so this play, I think this is more like a resource efficient play, but you have to use ECL. But since he has a timely intervention on his resource, I think it's okay.
Right. And there
And
should be one
oh, this is
overwhelm
a
damage to the base, right?
yeah, you can tell him that.
Yeah.
Unlikely to matter, but since Ray is about to come out. This
Yeah, yeah.
follow-up play here, by
I
the
already
way,
mentioned.
Obi-Wan follow-up here is amazing because you get the you get to deploy Ray at the same time. A lot of people are sleeping on Obi-Wan because they say, "Oh, Obi-Wan is bad against Waylay, it's bad against Yellow in general," and it is true that Obi-Wan is terrible against Yellow, but it's amazing against everything else. And here we are seeing the power of this card here. how much safety it puts behind this Ray. She's gonna be able to attack over and over again. She's gonna be able to kill Krennic here, no problem.
Yeah,
And it completely wipes his opponent board. Like this is such a this Obi-Wan play is amazing.
absolutely right. Yeah, for people who are unaware, Ray gets her experience before she gets to attack, which means that she hits for 3 this round, which will end up killing the Krennic. And yeah, now Mars is back into a, he's got to handle this board somehow. And with Obi-Wan providing Sentinel, that means Ray's going to probably get another hit in here. And if Obi-Wan dies, then she's going to get 2 more experience, which is pretty disgusting.
And draw a card.
And draw a card, yeah.
It's unfortunate. So it's an like it's as old as the game. Like basically, it's a starter set. Obi-Wan into Luke. That's the same thing. It's like it's old but gold.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I think yeah, we're gonna see Vader here. Okay, so we will be able to clear the Obi-Wan, but yeah, that Ray is now really powerful. Gonna be hitting for what? Is that 5? So yeah, that's nasty.
Yeah, no, this is a good Vader, but like the bold is it's still an incredible position for Ray because he's like he has all the resources in the world to have some great follow-ups. He got basically the best thing he could hope for here. Oh, he's going super as technician. Interesting.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna go for the phase 3, but
yeah, there's different options here that you can go for. Obviously Vader is still an amazing card in Krennic. They're going for the first 3 Stormtrooper or the Death Trooper. All this are good options, but decided to go for the ramp. And that means that because he's hoping to ramp into something big, like does he have Avenger in hand? Yeah, I think he does. So he wants to jump. He basically wants to play Avenger next turn. He thinks that's the way he's going to get out of this game, and I think I agree with him.
yeah, that definitely makes sense.
I think I agree with this play. It's like it might be worse on this Death Trooper doesn't really do a whole lot. It might be worse in the short run, but he's still healthy. He's still 19 HP, and if he can ramp 1 turn faster into the Avenger, I think that would be very very impactful. Okay, and follow up. And then he gets to take initiative.
Yeah, if Mars takes initiative here, do you think we see a force throw? Probably gets rid of
We
the
might
power.
see a Talking Town. We might see a Talking Town first. Like Talking Town on Vader seems pretty good. I think once again, you really want to keep the 4th throw for when your opponent has only like 1 or 2 cards back in hand. The only risk you're taking here by holding 4th throw for too long is like you're not gonna have any 4th unit at some point. But he has 2 4th units in play right now, so he's kind of feeling okay. But yeah, the 4th throw is really at its best whenever he has. Oh, this flank fighter is incredible.
Yeah, that's gonna provide
like,
a lot of value.
Yeah. Oh, Luke is a great draw.
And
Another
Lucas,
4th unit and also very impactful in the game.
Yeah, here if so if we see an Avenger drop after a Super Laser Tech hits Ray or something, then I think Philaffle gets rid of the Kanan, and then he can attack with the Sabling Fang into Avenger and kill it with Luke. I think that's kind of what he's going for there. I don't know.
Oh, okay. He went through all that trouble to get into Super Technician, but he's gonna play Commando. Or maybe he's feeling under too much pressure. He's feel like he cannot just play Avenger. I can respect that. He's basically playing it safe. The problem is like we're gonna run into the problem that we talked about before the game is that he has no answer to create dragon. Like normally, like old versions of Krennic would always play like 1 or 2 copies of Vanquish in order to deal with large units. I think that you're gonna need those cards in this expansion more than in any other, more than in Spark of Rebellion, because Curse of Dragon is such an incredible a card that you really want to kill. But yeah, in this case, he's not playing a single of them. Not even a rival fall.
Mm.
So he's contemplating the idea of playing the Fang Fighters to knock off the shield.
Oh. Sorry, viewers. So yeah, Mars disconnected. It's okay. He's out of Asia right now, and the internet over there is a little shaky. He'll be back though. Don't worry about that.
Uh, but I don't think it would have tremendously altered the situation. Anyway, it looks like we're back online. Mars is going to lose the commando.
Yep. Yeah, he's gonna get rid of that commando, and then let's see. Yeah, I think he just has to go with. I mean, maybe Power of the Dark Side is
Yeah,
just better here, but
I don't know. Like, it's better from our perspective because we know he has a removal, but
right.
I would definitely if I didn't know what opponent had in hand, I would definitely play the Black Sun here.
Yeah, it
But
gives you a
I mean,
good base
regardless
for the
of what he
overlords.
does, yeah, regardless of what he does, he's gonna get slapped this turn. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're 100% correct there. If he does do the Black Sun, it would allow him to do an Overwhelming Barrage next round, which could save him. I mean, if he didn't have something that could be instantly removed. Oh,
Uh,
let's see.
Okay,
So we're gonna
here
see
he
the
goes. He's
Black
gonna
Sun.
make the
Okay.
play. He makes the risky play, the riskier play. Because this basically this play is better because if your opponent does not have a removal, he's basically saving himself the power of the dark side for later on and potentially on a bigger target, which would lead to a potential comeback. Ooh, that hurts. This walker could have been good to
Oof.
stabilize.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, so we're gonna see Ray take 2 damage there from the Super Laser Tech. And hit the
Okay,
base for
it's
5
gonna go.
more.
Yeah, because of all the tokens from Obi-Wan. And then fourth throw, as expected. That's gonna be Power Dark Side. I think is gonna be discarded. I think he wants to keep that. If there's one card that can come back that allow you to come back in that kind of situation, it has to be Overwhelming Barrage.
Yeah, and he's
The
still gonna
interesting
take the.
thing that yeah, is they're gonna take 3. So yeah, this is a he's gonna wrap up here. There's nothing that he can do. Basically, what he would have needed would have needed like another Vader to kill the Ray, put a blocker on Kanan, and then follow that. Oh, the opponent doesn't play anything good, and then follow that with a barrage. But that's just a wild. Maybe we can pull the sideboard and think about what those different players are going to be siding out in those matchups.
Yeah, let's take a look real quick at Philaffle's list. So we saw maybe the most effective card there was just the Yodas and the Kanan, just to have enough board presence, and obviously the Obi-Wan was massive there. Do you think he's going to take out those Fell of the Dragons now that he's seen how Mars is playing?
We're talking about Marthas or
Falafels, yeah.
oh yeah, okay, Philaffle, yeah. So I think he's gonna what I would do at least if I was him, I would definitely put Rivals Fall, the 2 copies of Rivals Fall, and as far as thing to take out, um, maybe the Flank Fighters are not amazing because Mars is not playing any big upgrades.
Right.
Um, so yeah, my basic instinct would be the Flank Fighters out and the Rivals Fall in for Falafel and yeah. I don't think I think Spark of Rebellion is meant to be against Out Control. I don't think Spark of Rebellion like there's a world where you play Spark of Rebellion. Yeah, maybe there's a world where yeah you would play Spark of Rebellion. I think Kylo Ren might be a little bit weak because we're talking about a 6-drop with no immediate impact on the game that can be killed relatively easily by Kenny. Huh? Maybe Ken off. Maybe actually yeah. Well, because once again Marston's list doesn't have any spot. It doesn't have a spot removal so. Or maybe you get rid of Moisture Farmers. I don't know. So basically, I think for sure you want to the Rival Spot, and then the Spark of Rebellion is a maybe, depending on what he wants to take out. And I think for sure he wants to take out the Disabling Factors. Maybe the Village Protectors are also getting out. Maybe.
Yeah, I could
And
see that.
on
And for
yeah
Mars, we have.
yeah
Well, I think the easiest one to say is probably taking out some of
okay we're
those
back in the game
bounties.
now. We're back in the game.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so I think maybe he'll take out some of those bounties, and then the rest of it, he brings in some of the later game stuff to handle Falafel's board here.
He's gonna do Rival's Fall. He's gonna do the third copies of Avenger. And maybe he takes the 3-2 Starship to deal with the A-Wings.
Right. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
Okay, well, back into the game. Opening hand, still no ramp for Krennic, not ideal. Turn 1, Gamer more on guards. He's hope he's not gonna encounter a Val again.
Yeah, I think he's got to keep that Consortium Star Viper. I think that card is very good in this matchup.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, I guess especially since now that we know Philaffle as an A-Wing is opening hand, of course, like it makes tons of sense. I would.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be a mulligan for Philaffle. Okay. Oh, he's gonna mulligan as well. I think he's gonna be looking for ramp.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Gamer 1 guard is a good card in general, but I don't think it's very good in this matchup. It also like gets slapped by an R2 with experience. And again, no ramp. But this time he can play more of the control plan, go for like take initiative, go for the Power of the Dark Star turn 2, and hope the game goes late. But he
Right.
would have loved to have some ramp for sure. Okay, so Philaffle did slide in the Spark of Rebellion.
He did bring in that spark. Okay. Yeah, that's a 4-cost Spark of Rebellion. But yeah, the board impact that it can have to remove an Avenger, or Vaders, or really anything like that, it's going to be massive. For Philaffle.
I think one of the best cards that Mouse out in his deck might be Super Laser Blast.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Super Laser Blast and Rivals Fall. I mean, anything like that to keep the tempo on his side of the board. Philaffle's definitely going to try to get rid of those removal cards. He's going to start with an
R2
R2.
comes out, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, R2 on in Ray is amazing because it's basically 2-5 for 2 for 1 2-5 for 2. That is that is absurd. That is so good. Like the amount of fast is just ridiculous. And then it becomes 3-6 for 3. The turn after it's really so amazing. And Philaffle can go for this. It can go A-Wing and then buff either the A-Wing or the R2. But obviously, Mars is gonna get rid of it right away with the Power of the Dark Side.
Yeah, I think that's Mars's best answer. He might end up going with the Consortium Star Viper here, but yeah, I think the power, getting rid of a 2/5 is not easy to do. So I think he just removes that, or can get the
Yeah,
buff.
so it looks like he's thinking about resourcing the Star Viper, but I think he might want to get rid of the Avenger. Like, well, without any ramp, the Avenger is kind of a fairy tale.
Oh shoot.
Okay, looks like he decided to throw it away, which is a perfectly acceptable play.
Yeah, that lag is killing him right now.
Yeah, I would whistle the Avenger here, and I would keep the Star Viper. Like he's playing super greedy right now. He's kind of thinking, if I get to the game, I'll be happy to draw an Avenger. But by the time, especially if he started to add the additional Avenger out of his sideboard, he's gonna have like 25 turns to draw that Avenger. Anyway, I'm
Right.
exaggerating a bit, but yeah, he's gonna have a lot of time to draw and stuff another copy of Avenger if he needs to. But anyway, he decided to go for this, and I think is gonna be like. Yeah, the Star Viper would have been good here to do with A-Wing, but Oh, he's also playing Relentless. Look at greedy boy.
That is greedy. Relentless is interesting for this matchup, since there's not a ton of events for Philaffle. He's got a couple of takedowns and the Fell the Dragon, and then he's got Forces with Me and Force Throw. So really, a kind of an interesting choice to bring in the Relentless on this one.
I think it's a late game card. Like if you think you're gonna get there, it's gonna be a good card, but you need to get there. That's the thing.
Right, and that
So
was
it's like
definitely
the
the problem
resources.
last game.
Yeah,
So we're gonna see
that's a
takedown.
very good takedown.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game is going so much better for Krennic. He's gonna be able to go battalion slap this Kanan next turn. He doesn't he just has the perfect answer to everything his opponent is throwing at him. So it's a very good start for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Even missing the turn 1 play, it's not that critical for Krennic because, like you said, he's got the answers. He doesn't need to necessarily have a board presence when he's playing the control game. So yeah, very interesting. And then yeah, Steadfast here with the ECL.
Well done. It doesn't need a +2/+2. You can just go ahead.
Yeah,
Talking
it
Town
survives
is
against
gonna find use.
He's gonna go with the Poe.
And yeah, but once again, Mars can just take initiative and rivals fall.
He's gonna go
Try
with
to deploy
Krennic.
Krennic. I think maybe he's hoping that the Talking Town is gonna be activated. Yeah. They're not sure how I feel about this. Because now he's giving an opportunity for Poe to attack. So yeah, not sure exactly how I feel about this. Maybe the plan is, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, Philaffle can attack Poe into the base for 6 and discard a card to kill Steadfast. I think that's the play.
Yeah.
And then he'd
Yeah,
still
and
have
it's
enough
not
for
like this
Obi-Wan.
Krennic is. It's not like this Krennic is bringing a lot to the table here. So, if he would have taken initiative, you know what is actually even more interesting here? Like he could have taken initiative. I would have forced the Talking Town and forced him to Talking Town and then play rival fall. If opponent does not Talking Town, the battalion can actually trade with Poe because of the +1 bonus attack from Krennic.
Right.
But he's not gonna have that opportunity now.
Yeah. And that could
I mean, he
seriously
would have
affect this game.
most likely Philaffle would have sorry. Most likely Philaffle would have Talking Town anyway, but at least you're forcing that out of his hand. While here he's gonna be able to get rid of the battalion without even needing the Talking Town.
And he definitely doesn't want to take a swing from Poe there. That's 6 damage. That's 6 damage too much, honestly, on Krennic.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's gonna have rival fall, but there's gonna be a stab coming from Poe. And Poe is quite a slapper indeed.
Yeah. Yeah, Poe is disgusting. If you can get a hit with him, your opponent's going to wish that he didn't let that happen. It's a lot of stuff to have access to. You can remove upgrades. You can get rid of. I mean, you can kill off units like he's probably going to do in this case, and you can force your opponent to discard cards, which is just a tremendous amount of value.
I love the fact that Mars is keeping this Gamer One guard in hand. Having a cheap card to discard from 4th row is always good. And yeah, the spotted with me is not being played; it's just being discarded off Poe. And we're gonna have once again the Obi-Wan into Rey turn. And once again, there's so many big bodies on the board and so few removal for Mars.
Yeah,
Not an easy situation to be in.
not at all. Honestly, in this case, he's got the Rivals Fall. It's hard to remember exactly what resources he has smuggled, but I think he has 2 timely interventions down there, which won't come into play this
Yeah,
turn.
he has at least one for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, at least one. But yeah, I think you just have to get rid of Poe, or maybe he does the attack with Krennic to see what Philaffle drops here.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. No reason to go. No reason to play it right away.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's gonna be a tough choice between if Obi-Wan gets dropped before Rey, maybe there's an argument killing the Obi-Wan, but I think it's probably gonna be a Poe.
And if he is playing around the Obi-Wan, if that's his idea, if that's Mars's idea, then he can attack with Krennic into Poe to put 2 damage on him, which could potentially allow him to trade next turn with a Vader and maybe a Death Trooper, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I think this is what he's debating right now. Is that's probably the reason why he's hesitating. He's thinking about that play. But yeah, keep in mind that if he does find a Death Trooper, then he can literally kill Poe even without the slap from even without the attack from Krennic.
Well, he would because Poe would get the +2/+2 from Obi-Wan, right?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I did decide to attack with Krennic. It seems like taking a while because Mr. Mars is lagging like crazy, probably.
Yeah, I think. Well, the problem with me is that I'm in the United States, and of course, Philaffle, I believe, is in the EU, and Mars is in Asia. So everybody is suffering a little bit because it's all peer-to-peer connection. TTS, please get dedicated servers. I appreciate it. Um, but
Yeah,
until we get
I could
them,
have hosted the game. I'm from Europe, so I could have hosted the game, but
yeah. Okay, so we're gonna see the Ray deploy from Falafel. He's keeping that Obi-Wan hidden away because he wants Mars to activate whatever he's got stored up.
yeah, yeah, he wants to. So it's gonna be Rival's Fall on Ray. Yeah, that's smart. I think it's a good play. He's saving his Krennic that way.
Absolutely. That's a really
And
strong play.
if he finds even like something like a barrage on Krennic at 3 is so 5 damage. That's not too bad. And then Obi-Wan. Now that the Ray is dead, the Obi-Wan is not enough carry. Like you can see how flexible Rival's Fall is. I think this card is gonna be it's gonna be it's gonna be everywhere. It's just so flexible, and the extra resources to be able to kill leaders is well worth it, in my view.
Yeah, absolutely. The advantage that Rivals Fall has over Vanquish, for those who are unaware, is that it can kill a leader, which is it's only one more cost, and the flexibility, like Thorka's talking about, to be able to kill leaders and regular units and have no other restrictions is well worth it. I mean, there's
Yeah,
no reason for
Mars
not.
did draw 2 extra cards here
Yeah,
by mistake.
yeah, he's lagging. He's lagging like crazy. I think he recognizes it. Yeah. Give him a second here to get it all sorted out.
Yeah, just tell him in case he didn't see.
Yeah, there we go. He is back.
Looks like he's back. Okay, let's resume.
All right. So we do have to remember to get rid of these
Yeah,
two cards.
yep.
Okay. Excellent.
You're loading the game.
All right.
Good stuff. We're back in the game.
Nice.
You should have asked the opponent, his opponent the permission to pull the deck or not.
Let's see.
Yeah, because like shuffling the deck actually does give him an advantage here because that was obviously not too that were not good cards, but anyway.
Right.
Yeah. Not great, but
Yeah. So
yeah, Philaffle doesn't have initiative, so it's actually initiative to Mars at this point. So we talked at length what the different option that he has. Oh yeah,
yeah,
so it doesn't have the battalion that we were talking about earlier. So I think the only play then is Vader.
yeah. The Vader is definitely the play. And he's got to get lucky here. He's got to pull a Death Trooper is probably the best card he can pull. But we could see he does pull it. And he'll be able to deal the damage to Vader, potentially. Let's do that.
Okay, that's a good pull that he got him. He got the Death Trooper, but we're still gonna get attacked by Pod Amron. The good news for him is that there's no longer any force tints on the game, which means that those two force throw are not impressive at all.
Yeah, and so he does end up putting the damage on Vader, which means it's okay. So we're gonna see a Village Protector here.
Did he want to deal the 2 damage to Poe? Because Poe should be at full damage.
No, he did the 2 damage to Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, because he didn't put the damage on Vader. He should have put the damage on Vader prior. Um. And dealt the 2 damage to Poe, so that Vader would have been hitting for 6. But I don't
Oh
think he.
yeah, that
Yeah.
that is a good point. Yeah, that definitely a misplay here. Forgetting about the Krennic buff. One of
Right.
the many advantages of playing Krennic here, you get to do those kind of things here. It would have been able to. I don't think it's gonna make a big difference.
Yeah, probably not
Um,
because Poe would
we'll
still have
see.
4
We'll see.
HP. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but unlikely to make a difference. But maybe it will.
And I think you honestly can just sacrifice Krennic here for that shield. You still get to restore 2, but that Krennic's going to die one way or another.
Yeah,
We
I
know
think so
that.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
But
thinking
even
about
in
it, but maybe
total.
yeah. But maybe he wants his opponent to discard a card to use to use the Poe's abilities on he wants to force that.
Right.
But yeah, it's still a winnable game for Mars. He has a lot of late game cards in hand, and Philaffle is out of gas a little bit here. What we talked about earlier, I think past a certain point in the game, Krennic can reach a point where he can start winning, where he can be ahead and start winning.
Yeah, Dylan, great point that it should have happened that way, but it was just a simple misplay. Um, and yeah, unfortunately, it's gonna cost them here a little bit. Poe should have been damaged a little bit more, but in this case, I don't think it honestly matters too much. Um, because there's Vader's gonna die here to Tarkin Town, and Krennic's gonna be finished off by Poe.
It looks like he's gonna use Talking Town, and then so you see here he's gonna be. I think he's gonna force. He's gonna by not attacking with the Krennic on the defender. He's gonna force Falafel to discard a card. Yeah, discarding a fourth. So you see though that was useful to not attack with Krennic here because he
Absolutely.
actually forced the discard from Poe.
And I wonder if Poe here goes for another discard to force a discard in hand.
Oh no, I don't think you want to do that. Your opponent has 4 cards in hand, and this Photo is still a potentially very valuable card. Philaffle still keep on drawing, not so great. I mean, this Fell's Dragon is going to be useful, I guess, but not right now. So he has basically no good play this turn, and this is definitely a huge opportunity for a comeback here for Krennic.
Yeah, 100%. Interesting. Yeah, I wonder if resourcing here makes sense. He definitely has the Crate Dragon play, so I think he does want to continue to resource since he is in
I
top
think,
deck mode.
I think he needs to resource at least one more time because then he can drop the Krennic the Dragon. The turn he plays it, he draws it. So I think he needs to drop two. Wait, Super Laser Blast. That is a good Super Laser Blast, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
And
I think
Falafel
this game
has
is locked
no.
out.
Yeah, Falafel has
Yeah,
no response to that. 8 resources. I mean, basically wasted.
yeah, yeah. No, this is a horrible turn of event here for Falafel. As we said earlier, this is a matchup that gets much better for Krennic as the game goes longer. In the previous game, Krennic just fell too far behind the early stages of the game. But here's the situation. Here, there's nothing Philaffle can do. Even a Crow of the Dragon will simply just not do enough. Like the Avenger will just kill the Crow of the Dragon. Yeah, okay, you take 9 to base, but which is a problem. But it will still manage to one shot the opponent. So um yeah, I feel you want to stay in the game if you Philaffle, I believe. Not even. Yeah, I think when he's gonna see the Avenger, he's gonna concede.
Yeah, they're in voice chat, guys. I wouldn't read too much into that. I'm sure it was cleared by his opponent. These guys, I mean, their integrity is key. So, um, It was a simple overdraw by Mars. I wouldn't read too much into it, honestly. We don't want to be casting aspersions here.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, what I was saying is like whenever you overdraw like this, you ask your opponent if you want to shuffle it back or if you want to put it back into the deck. That's kind of what we do usually. But they probably cleared out in by Volstad that we haven't figured.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I was him, I would play the Avenger personally. Because then, if the Avenger is already in play, it makes it so if a Credit Dragon is played later on, you can just attack it. It looks like he's gonna go for a more conservative play with the Vader instead, and he finds either Phase 3 Death Trooper or the 3/2 Sentinels. It looks like he's going to go for the guy on the ground. This Vader can be killed by Credit Dragon, which will be played because Philaffle does nothing to do, and he cannot really let a Vader with 6 attacks on the board.
Yeah, I think he does go for the Fell the Dragon here. It just makes a lot of sense. So we're gonna see the Fell the Dragon. We'll kill Vader. And now Mars might be feeling safer to play that Avenger next turn. But we do know that Philaffle has another Fell the Dragon in hand.
Yep. Yeah, and now he has the second Avenger. He's been holding that Avenger since his opening hand. He's been eager to play it, to say the least. And drawing another power, draw power to the dark side is a spectacular draw here.
Yeah, I think we're
Amazing,
headed to
amazing
game
draw.
3.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's any way back from here. But that is going to try to drop probably maybe a Yoda and... Okay, no, he goes Flank Fighters, okay. Yeah.
He can do both, and he can also force throw if he gets that Yoda out. So if he can bait out the Avenger here with that Fang Fighter, then we could see the Yoda played out.
Yeah, we can see you remember in Rogue One when that Hammerhead pushes the Star Destroyer to another Star Destroyer? You go like the Yoda, you go fourth throw and you push one, and you fourth throw one of the Star Destroyers to kill the Avenger, and you basically try to hope for the nuts, something like this to come out, because that's what you need if you want to come back into this game. You need something spectacular like this. Unfortunately, Mars has just simply too many cards in hand, so no way he's gonna discard the Avenger to kill that Avenger.
Honestly, he probably gets rid of the Super Commando squad. I think that's probably the worst card in hand still.
Yeah. Paradox is too good. Paradox is too good in that situation.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So if you Philaffle, you have to play fourth throw and hope for the best. Which honestly is not too bad. He's gonna be able to kill the or he wants to take initiative and plays the Slay the Dragon.
Yeah, he could do that. I think you got to get rid of the Phase 3 Darks. It saves you 3 damage on base this round.
Yeah, but playing Slay the Dragon on the turn after saves you 8 HP.
Fair
I think
enough,
you're better
yeah.
off just taking initiative here. You're better off taking the initiative. And it's not like this fourth throw is like ultimate priority either. But anyway, he's gonna play it. And that's probably gonna be Commando this card. Kill the Dark Trooper. Yeah, I think it would have been better off taking initiative here, but we'll see.
Yeah, that Phase
Commando,
3 could have killed Yoda next turn with a Overwhelming Barrage or something like that. And then we're going to see Yoda get buffed up here. I think is important.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, that's why he decided okay. Well, still that works out for him, but this Yoda he can get buffed all he wants, but he's gonna get slapped by Avenger. You see, like preventing the Avenger from attacking, I think was a big play.
Yeah, so okay, he's gonna go with the Avenger first.
Yep, obviously. This is like 8 damage, kill the Yoda. It's such a big play. And Philaffle once again probably is gonna have to rely on. He's gonna play Kanan. Should see Power the Dark Side.
Yeah, I think power just makes the most sense. We could also see a overwhelming barrage. I don't think we're gonna see that now, but
Oh yeah, I think you would want to keep Overrun Barrage for if there's multiple threat being played, or if it just gives you lethal damage.
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that 2 extra damage here would have put. Okay, so now we just see Avenger played to force.
Absolutely. He
Yeah,
delayed that Avengers. He delayed the Slay Dragon as much as possible to kind of hide information, but didn't make a difference in the end. And the second Avenger, I would personally concede right away. Well, if I was Philaffle, but looks like he wants to keep them in there
he could have
because
drawn another
you
one.
have hope, right?
He could have drawn another
Oh yeah,
Fell the Dragon. So maybe he's holding up for a top deck there.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we can see here Mars has 3 overwhelming barrages in hand. Just all the removal he needed at the exact right time that he needed it. And yeah, we're on to exciting game 3 now.
Yeah, so something we said earlier, and I think it was very true that game, is that I think the Super Laser Blast is a key card in this matchup. It just does so well. There's so many big threats in Philaffle's deck. So many cards that can only be killed by hard removal, that cannot be killed by takedown. And eventually you're gonna need to wipe it all away with the Super Laser Blast. So Super Laser Blast is a key card. You see here, he's opening hand with Super Laser Blast, and I'm sure he's going to. No, never mind. He's going to million this. All right, no turn one play and no ramp. Mars has had difficulties hitting his ramp this game, which was unfortunate. And once again, no ramp, no turn one play here for Mars. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he took some of those cards out because he does have 6, which means that approximately 40% of the time, 40% of his draws should include at least one ramp card, um, which is interesting. Yeah, I'm not 100%
Mars has
sure.
been Mars has been pretty unlucky with his draw. I have to say.
Yeah,
Like
because this is the
he's
6th hand we've seen it in 1 where he had a super laser tech in a hand, but he had to mulligan. I think.
yeah, no, yeah. And what's the yeah? So no, it's unfortunate, but I don't think this hand is unplayable. If your opponent opens up with a space unit, he can ECL Constant Star Viper. If your play opens up ground with a big ground unit, he can ECL with the Death Trooper. So he's not, and then he has removal after removal. So here we'll probably get rid of the Death Trooper. He needs to keep the Rival's Fall, or he get either he get rid of the Death Trooper. Oh no, he did. Okay, okay. It does that, yeah. It was between the Phase 3 and the other one. Maybe he's thinking that Death Trooper is not so good because he gets killed by Talking Town.
Yeah, potentially. I think that's most likely what he was thinking.
But
Hmm.
me, if I was gonna play Death Trooper, I would just ECL it to one shot the R2, or even even an ECL Death Trooper can one shot a Poe, which is pretty nice.
Yeah,
I think it's better than Phase 3 because Phase 3 is simply just gonna die to a 3/6 R2 essentially. And he also resolved the Constant Star Viper here, so yeah. Once again, greedy play from Mars. But we'll see. Last time it paid off though.
yeah. So Mars is going to claim
We'll
right
see.
off the bat here, and we're going to see an
Yeah,
experience down on that R2.
yeah. The good old 2 5 for 2 is balance.
Yeah, best unit for stats in the game for the cost.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
And he's got a Yoda in hand, which makes this a very strong turn 1, turn 2 for Philaffle. We're going to see that phase 3 darks come down, which will
Yep.
just die here to a buffed up R2. So
Yeah. If he does buff of the R2 though, the inconvenience is like he cannot do anything else.
yeah,
That's it does play does have a significant cost.
he can force a force throw here, which isn't terrible. I mean,
Oh
it's a
no,
pretty
you would
early
definitely
burn.
keep the fourth. Yeah, no, you definitely want to keep the fourth though for like from Philadelphia's perspective. There's no way you fourth at this point. You definitely want to keep it for when you have a force unit. Like,
Yeah,
basically,
that makes
Fall
sense.
Throw without a Jedi is really much only something you would do if your opponent has literally one card in hand.
Well, I think you can see it because we know that this Krennic deck it plays a few units, but obviously its board presence is not as much as the removal, right? Especially since the sideboard that Mars has obviously been aiming towards. So,
He still plays a significant amount of units. Like, he still play against hard control. I could see it, but again, it's still a mid-rangey deck. He plays a significant amount of units. You definitely want to have access to that Fall Throw later on.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
And
so this like to resource the Creator Dragon. That is a big deal here because the Creator Dragon is one of the best card in the matchup, in my opinion, for Ray's deck. So the fact they decide to resource that is a big call. It's like, I do not want the game to go at this stage. I want to win before that. Big statement here by Philaffle.
yeah, absolutely. I think that was smart. He keeps two Fell the Dragons. I think that was the two options that really make the most sense there. And he has a really strong play here. So I think we just see the takedown from Mars.
Yeah, absolutely. They got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And Philaffle should probably go Yoda. Yoda plus Ray's ability, I would say.
Yep. That makes sense to me.
Unless your opponent plays a unit, and then you can go Yoda full throw.
Right.
But
Yeah,
not
now
what's
the
gonna
force throw
happen.
doesn't make sense. And Mars will keep the initiative, and we'll see that Yoda buffed up 3/5 with Restore 2 and a when defeated ability. Yoda is just such high value in Ray right now. It's insane. And of course, he's
Yeah,
forced,
third
so.
Philaffle will finally resource one of the 3 copies of the Slay Dragon that he drew. Can't blame him for that. So Obi-Wan is such a good card in this matchup. I cannot blame him for doing that. There
Yeah.
is an argument resourcing the fourth though and keeping the Fell Dragon, but it's definitely a tall order. Like I wouldn't necessarily think it's the best play. So
Okay, and we're probably going to see an overwhelming barrage here from Krennic. We see Poe drop down.
that barrage doesn't kill anything, does it? Only
Yeah, it
4.
doesn't. It will allow him to uh, do Krennic into Poe to kill it.
At what cost? Such a yeah. That is not something you want to do, but he's gonna have to do it. I feel like.
Yeah, I think it's forced. I mean, he's got Rival's Fall for next round. Hmm.
Yeah. He got no other play apparently.
Yeah, at least
That's
not
the
this
problem. Is
round.
like whenever with the play style that Mars is going for is really keeping all of his late game stuff and only and resolving all of his early game that leads him to make plays like this where it's not very optimal, but that's basically what he has. Um, but I would say for a deck that is supposed that hasn't drawn a single Ram deck so far, he's doing pretty well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're here on turn 6, or sorry, turn 4. He's only taken 1 damage to the base after Krennic heals 2. And that's just a very strong position to be in. And
Yeah, super
Falafel,
laser.
he's got a lot of events in this deck that a very few amount of events, but he seems to be drawing all of them right now. So I'm not sure that's
Yeah.
what he wants to see.
Yeah, he's not putting any pressure on his opponent, and he also he actually resourced his Creator Dragon. So the problem is like he's not putting any pressure on his opponent, and he did resource the super late game card that he needs to win this game. Because if there's one way Falafel can win in late game versus Krennic is on the back of those dragons. That's literally riding those dragons like Paul Atreides rides the sandworm. He needs those big fatties to win the late games.
You're absolutely right. And he only has one other one in the deck, so the chances of him drawing that in time are extremely low. He also has Luke Skywalker's, so it's not like his late game is totally destroyed. He's got Kylo, of course, Luke Skywalker, and then the Crate Dragon, but the Crate Dragon is definitely the strongest option out of all those, especially into the mid-range control matchup.
Yeah. So here Mars is really thinking a lot about what he wants to resource here. There's a lot of maybe I think the timely intervention is what I would resource there if he's intending to resupply this turn. But I think resupply is quite greedy because if he plays resupply, he doesn't play anything else. So um yeah. So it's once again he went for the timely intervention, which I think is the right play. Fourth was coming out. So that
Yeah.
means probably the resupply is going to be off the board, and he's gonna pass and just keep the rivals full to kill Ray. Is what I would do. This is a costly play, by the way, from Philaffle to play this Ortho because now, once again, it means he's not putting any pressure on his opponent. He's not going to be playing the Obi-Wan. That's a lot of pressure off the board. But he's going to be able to follow that up with a Spark of Rebellion, and the Spark of Rebellion is going to make his lead game a lot easier. He's going to be able to get rid of the Super Laser Blast, notably.
Yeah, and
Might
Mars
want to
is.
take out the Avenger. We'll see.
Yeah,
I think with
absolutely. Either of those cards is insane. I think he did this to avoid a steadfast battalion, or because if Krennic's off the board, then he can live with Array. I think that's the
if
only
he wants to
reason.
get rid of the Krennic, he can simply attack with Yoda.
Yeah, he could. I
Don't tell
mean,
me mouse
obviously,
disconnected again.
no. He's still deciding.
Okay. What a relief. Yeah, so I think here um I think the play here is to get rid of resupply. I think honestly trying to resupply this turn is a bit too greedy. I think you want to go Riven's Fall
Yeah,
on Ray. So here you probably want to pass. And we should see Philaffle follow that up with yeah, he's passing indeed.
yeah, he's passing.
Uh,
We're gonna see a
and here
spark.
I would take out a Super Laser Blast here personally.
Yeah, I think you
But
do because the Avenger is so far away. He can also take out the rival's fall to keep his Ray alive, which could increase the amount of pressure. So actually, I think that's the best
okay.
pull.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense because there's nothing to play until for 2 turns, so he's like now he's gonna really rack up the damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting rid of the resupply into the rival's fall was almost as strong as playing the Obi-Wan itself. Actually, maybe potentially stronger. I really actually like that line quite a bit. And now we're going to see the Ray deploy, or sorry, we're going to probably see Ray deploy here. Should be able to buff herself, and that'll be 6 damage coming into the base this round, which is the first time Philaffle's able to deal any real damage at all.
Yeah, that's great. So we have a game now. We were really thinking that Krennic was had this in the pocket here. But yeah, and yeah, greed is giving all his late game cards. And look at this, it's gonna be another blank turn for Krennic. It's like yes, he has a better late game, but can he really recover from 2 turns of doing absolutely nothing? Not guaranteed at all.
Yeah, this is extremely rough. The overwhelming barrage is overwhelmingly useless in this
Yeah.
turn. It's just I think he has to resource that because he wants these Avengers and Walkers to be able to heal. And then obviously Super Laser Blast is probably going to be his turn next round.
I think the relentless resource is correct because if you play the overwhelming barrage is going to be great for both stabilizer. If he has to commit to play a unit, he's going to be very happy to be able to play that's overwhelming barrage. Of course, we do know that Philaffle is holding 2 State of Dragon in hand,
That's
so
true.
from our perspective, obviously, barrage is pretty bad. But from his perspective, the barrage is amazing to stabilize if you manage to stick something on play.
Yeah, and it raises the question: do you think he's going to go with the Super Laser Blast to just clear the board completely, or does he go for a Reinforcement Walker next round with a Overwhelming Barrage the following round? I don't think that's strong
No,
enough to
yeah,
make
he
sense.
has to go. He has to go barrage. He has to go for the barrage and Avenger line to play, I believe.
Yeah, I agree with that. We'll see Yoda go for 3 to base. 15
Yeah.
HP left on Mars's base. And Mars is going to keep passing. I guess he's trying to force out some suboptimal plays from Philaffle,
Yeah.
which he
No, it's
kind of
smart to
does.
it's smart. Yeah, it's smart to pass at this point. You don't want to just take initiative right away because you know you're gonna have initiative anyways. So you wanna pass to make your opponent believe that you got something.
And honestly, it could be an interesting choice here. But if Mars continues to pass, we can see a Yoda played. Okay, so that's going to allow Philaffle to draw a card.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then,
so he's making the suboptimal play. He's afraid of a triple laser blast. So he's playing around. Yeah, he knows the opponent has triple laser blast in hand. So okay, not sure if I agree with that from Philaffle, but he decided to go for kind of holding on a little bit. I still believe you go triple laser blast if you're Mars. And yeah, those units are relatively low attack units. So that allows him to. He hasn't taken that many damage into base, so it's still a totally winnable game for Mars, despite spending 2 entire turns doing absolutely nothing.
yeah, and this is the real power of Krennic. If he can get that early game pressure off by defeating those units outright with his hard removal from the power of the dark sides and takedowns like he was able to in this game, then he can honestly waste the entire mid game against aggro while aggro works to rebuild their board and then come back in the late game and absolutely crush it with some of these super powerful cards.
Yeah, I'm not sure he would be able to do this against aggro but he certainly can against a more slower mid-range deck that Ray is.
Yeah. I guess yeah. In this case, Ray is more of a mid range. So um,
Yeah, this is not an aggro deck. He's the aggressor in terms of
right.
situation he's in, but obviously the Ray player will be able to rebuild a board this turn, and he still has those now Rival Soul +2 State of Dragon in hand, so basically all the removals in the world to get rid of the big cards that Krennic is about to drop.
He won't
It's
be
still
able to. Okay, yeah.
still anyone's game.
Yeah, so he won't be able to Ray this turn. He definitely wanted to do that. But he will be able to play an Obi-Wan and a Moisture Farmer. So he's got three good units on the board, no doubt.
So Moisture Farmers, for people who don't know the card, it's a 0/4 with Restore 2 for 1.
Yeah, Queens put out the or yeah, I'm gonna call you Q. All right. Q said he knows the Super Laser Blast was there from the spark, so that's why he was able to play around it so well. Was because he knew.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I totally forgot
We
about
knew
that
that he knew.
momentarily.
Everybody, yeah, we knew that he knew. That's why he did that Yoda suboptimal play, and that's the reason why Super Laser Blast is so good. It's not only about the card, the impact of the card itself. It's also the the way it forces you to play all the turns before that as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, we knew that Super Laser Blast was going to be a spectacular card in this matchup, and it has been both times.
Okay.
Vanguard, most of farmers, of course, will take the hit.
Gonna see Ray go on to R2.
It's going to be a great turn for Philaffle again. He's going to deal 6 damage to base and get rid of the Avenger.
Yeah, do you think okay, so he might go with the force throw first, right? No, because I guess it's not that impactful. Shoot. Okay, so we're gonna see R2 attack the base for 2. And he's able that's 2 cards now that he's cycled out that are bad cards. And we're gonna see Obi-Wan as well hit the base for 4, going up to 19 damage. This puts him potentially in striking range. There's a lot of options here. I think we see the Val played in either the Fell the Dragon or Rivals Fall. Obviously, the Fell the Dragon is probably the best play there, which he's going to do. Take out that Avenger. And Mars has not been able to keep a unit on the board for more than one round here. And then, followed up with the Val. That's just a really solid play from Philaffle. And we're headed into round 9 here.
He's gonna need another super laser blast. He wants to get out of here.
Yeah, and he didn't draw it there. I don't think he's going to be able to manage to cover off the board enough. We're going to see timely intervention come down, potentially with that walker, so he'll be able to heal 3. And that'll cost him the entire 10 resources. He'll be able to kill Obi-Wan, and then, let's see, he's probably going to heal with this card. Yeah, Super Commando Squad, that's an easy heal.
Yeah, I think the only thing you don't heal on is would be
Super Laser
maybe
Blast.
a Vader, Super Laser Blast or Vader. Yeah, it's like timely intervention into Walker is a combo that we've seen for a while. It's a hard to pull off because Walker is already a very expensive card, having to spend extra resources on top of the walkers, but if you can pull it off, it is very effective. We already know with Piet how strong a double trigger, untimely double trigger with how impactful that is. But now we have a monstrous R2 now. R2 is a 4/7.
Yeah, and that's disgusting.
But you see, if he can make this, no, he's not. I was like, if he can make this Walker survive, but he's not going to be able to. So.
Yeah, I think we just see forces with me for the game win.
Time. It's gonna buy him a little bit of time, so for him to potentially buy to possibly get like a super laser blast.
Well, actually, the game's just over now. Philaffle has win on the board. 4 damage with R2. Ray will buff the Val, going up to 3 damage. That's 7. And then the forces with me on Val will just end the game here. The total of 9 damage.
Yeah, but he didn't heal a second time with the walker?
Let's see. Okay, he's deciding right now if he wants to do that.
Yeah, because he has another heal coming. Like, so that's not lethal.
But I think that's a super laser blast that he's deciding to keep or not.
Oh, is it? Oh my god. So. Oh no.
Let's see it.
What is it?
It's Avenger.
Oh no, Avenger.
Okay.
Avenger was
that's an easy one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he can overwhelm barrage.
Blast, that would have been terrible.
Yeah.
So he's not dead. He's not dead yet.
He's not dead. He's not dead. Unless Philaffle has something like a, he could have a Cassian, right? I think he might have one resourced. I'm not sure though. But he's going to be going for the Kylo Ren here. So.
Yeah. Kylo Ren is okay. Can he super laser blast? That's going to be 4th throw. That's okay because even if he discard the takedown, it does not actually lose the walker.
Right.
That means this walker is alive. That's a big deal.
That is a big deal. Val can kill it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Tarkentown.
Oh yeah, okay, very clever.
Yeah, that's very good.
See, you remember earlier when I said he made a play that didn't force Tarkentown?
Right.
Like if
that comes back to bite him.
Not available.
And he ends up drawing Avenger anyway. Bringing in that 3rd Avenger was definitely a good choice for this matchup. But I don't know how he comes back from this. Kylo Ren swings for the win on the board. He's got a takedown, right? He's got a takedown on Kylo.
Yep.
He's gonna go Super Commando Squad, which will have Sentinel, and he can ECL
and shield. Yeah.
I think he should have ECL'd there to kill Val. But there he goes. The
Val
Fang
would
Fighter.
not die as 5 health.
Yeah, you're right. And that's GG.
You play too much Gar Saxon.
Yeah.
GG, guys. Whew.
Philaffle gets it done. 2 hours into the match. Definitely the longest one on record for the TTI. Apologies to the viewers, guys. You were great. I appreciate you sticking around for this one. Yeah, just a little bit of connection issues, but we got there in the end. Philaffle showing why the Ray is so powerful, able to just pull out tools when he needs it. And yeah, go show some love to Thork. Here's his YouTube channel, Thork's Hot Takes. There's so many hot takes that I don't think he's ever had a regular take. But he's great. Yeah, so go check that out.
Yeah, we don't even call them hot takes anymore. We call them thought takes.
Thork Takes, yeah.
To be honest, I think honestly, I feel like from my perspective, everything I say is pretty conventional, to be honest. But the hot takes preference was more like kind of a joke because I had the reputation of having hot takes back in those times, and I think, but yeah, no, it was great. Hopefully the next game we play, I think I just wanted the next game we play don't take as long, but it was an entertaining match. Despite that, I mean, in the YouTube video, you're probably just gonna be able to cut out the part where we're waiting, and it will be a watchable thing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We'll cut out all the nonsense.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those games where you need a co-caster to actually ramble with. If you would have
Yep.
been on your own, it would have been.
Oh, it would have been unbearable. I would have had the music playing for 30 minutes to an hour there. Just so little you could talk about when you're looking at a game on turn 5 or whatever, and you got 30 minutes to talk about it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm still convinced that Krennic should have the upper hand in this matchup. I feel like the not finding any ramp was a massive deal in both of the games. Not finding ramp was definitely a problem for Philaffle. Sorry, for Mars.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was definitely kind of unlucky from him. But for sure, the characteristic of a good deck is whenever you see a deck that is capable of winning bad matchups, it's obviously always a great sign. Um and yeah, well, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.
Absolutely. See you around, Thork. All right, people. Well, that's all I got for you today. Go ahead and check out my YouTube videos. I just released my first one ever. So if you're interested in Star Wars Unlimited, especially pre-release, the only video I've released so far is about your Star Wars Unlimited pre-releases. So definitely check that out. I really appreciate the support. Have a fantastic day, folks, and we'll be back at 3 p.m. Eastern today for another stream. Ciao.